Denny's Diner in Lake Worth Beach a year ago. Holy fuck, what a shithole. Stopped in here after an escape room because my friend's daughter wanted to eat here. Waited 20 minutes for drinks, another 40 minutes for refills, and it was an hour and a half from the time we were sat until our food arrived. My friend's pancake looked like it was made in a federal prison. I started to think, we never really escaped the room.
That's so fucking good.
1 out of 5 stars. I was just like, what the fuck?
That is so fucking good, man. Oh, delicious maple syrup whiskey.
That's actually really a really good whiskey.
Like I don't like whiskey, and this and the peanut butter whiskey are the two that I could say I would drink voluntarily on my own. All right, here we are. Whew.
Feeling fantastic?
Good.
I'm not too bad.
You should feel good, you know. 'Cause,
I rested. I opted for rest
because I had
last
a Halloween costume party last night, and everybody came out, and we had a good time. Ed,
Yes.
you were there.
Yes, I was. I was.
And
So, someone was
but
missing.
Ed was there.
It was
Yes.
good. Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Listen, okay, I'm getting older, okay? So at like the tender age of 42, right? Like 9 days.
You are 5 years away from me.
9 days.
Don't act like you're my grandfather. Like
straight of work.
my fucking bones hurt too.
I had no excuse other than like Eddie was like, "You ready?" I'm like, "I'm so dead right now."
But you could be here with us.
I told Eddie to mention I was there in spirit.
Oh,
that was my costume.
All right. So the
Ian does not look amused. He doesn't look like he's buying it.
The malfunctioning fog machine, that was your spirit?
That was me.
Right,
that was me.
I mean, it kicked on for like 10 seconds at a time.
It smelled like straight burning wood. I was like,
yes,
oh my God.
Like, well, this was successful.
This is a great purchase.
Kick it. Welcome to the Sofa Kingdom podcast, where 1 out of 2 of your hosts do not have a headache. Ian. And the one, Nelson.
It's okay. What Halloween's about.
Yeah.
So I was thinking we should start with some heavy metal music.
Well, we listened to it all night yesterday.
All night long. All night.
I wanted to bring up, because as I mentioned, I started having a headache before we started drinking yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But I made the very clear now, poor executive decision to hope the headache is going to get lesser versus getting worse.
Right.
Because you don't want to take pain meds and then start drinking.
Right.
Yeah, but you tried to exercise the headache with loud heavy metal music from an actual like speaker subwoofer that was brought and a Halloween party punch. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Interesting strategy, sir.
How didn't it work out?
Oh, it went about as bad as you can imagine.
Yeah.
Because there are some pain meds you can take when you have a headache and you were drinking.
Yeah.
I avoid it because half of our family has very problematic stomach issues. I've been lucky to not, but I also don't want to do that one thing that's like, oh,
now I have them.
Congratulations, you're now on the side of the family with stomach
you have
issues.
awakened the sleeping demon.
Welcome to the family.
The blue-eyed
So
samurai.
I opted for hope and change.
Okay.
Hope it won't get bad and the change that it didn't come.
Yeah.
And had a tremendous headache.
Yeah. It was a good time, though. It was a good time.
I don't care. When I have a headache like that, I'm just like, num, 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 num. Alcohol.
You try to not feel it.
Yeah, I don't want to feel the pain at all. You know, because I feel like if you're going to knock off years in your life, it's the years at the back end, right? Years now, you want to enjoy. It's those back end years where somebody's like
you're
wiping
shitting
your
on
own
yourself.
ass.
You can keep them fucking years.
I don't need those years. Yeah.
I feel like I'm surprised I'm not bleeding because like Kevin was walking around with a real meat cleaver all night. And, like, I don't know how many times I felt it jab me. I was like, "Can you fucking not have a real meat cleaver?" Like,
I opted to because I have a full sword that I had purchased,
and you didn't bring it because it's a real fucking sword.
So I was like, you know what,
Kevin,
shame on you.
I'm not going to I'm not going to walk around with the sword at the party the whole time. I'm going to leave the sword at home.
Yeah.
I'll just wear the rest of the outfit. And he's in there with a fucking meat cleaver the whole
like
time.
a legit German
and-
stainless steel meat cleaver.
I mean, commitment on him.
Yeah.
He held it the whole
he
goddamn
did
night.
carry it all night. He did.
I mean, what if there was a baked ham that needed a cutting? He was there to.
We had the right man for the job.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know.
The butcher of New York.
He showed out. He was doing good until we got the flip cup, and then Kevin got drunk.
Yeah.
And then that was it.
Kevin got drunk.
It was over.
Also, Mike was supposed to be here. Wait, I just got a text right now. We can read it live on air.
Let's go.
11:28 a.m. on what is today, October 29th.
Yes.
Mike, who always says he wants to be on the podcast.
Right.
Oh, fuck. I completely forgot. All right, well, Mike,
Oh,
Mike, here you go, Mike. Here's you made it on the podcast.
Listen,
October
that was
29th at 11:30. Oh, fuck, I completely forgot.
Yeah,
Mike,
listen,
everyone.
It was a great interview, by the way, Mike.
Yeah, Mike, thanks for showing up. He had a Waldo costume he was going to bring.
I connected the other microphone and I had to mute it because
Oh, wow.
Nobody showed up.
I mean Kylo's kind of quiet.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
mean
yeah.
we don't need it to be on for him.
How fitting he was Waldo last night because where the fuck is he? I mean,
Where the fuck is Mike?
where the fuck is Mike right now? Okay. Oh, fuck, I completely forgot. All right. Well, make sure you tune in, Mike, because you made it on the episode.
Yes, you did. And
We
that's
might let you come back.
That's the only time you're getting on the episode.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
No, well, actually, if you come back, what we could do is we can have you on the other side of the glass so that we'll talk to you, but we can't quite make out what you're saying.
We'll figure out a way to turn the camera so we'll glance at you every now and then.
It'd be like sad puppy eyes from the
But
other side of the glass.
I mean Matt always shows up.
He does.
He does.
Yes.
He does. And Matt comes a lot farther than Mike does.
Yep.
Matt comes down from Jupiter.
Which
Yeah.
congratulations
He
to Matt.
never forgets.
He recently played a show. His young daughter Mia
Yeah.
got up on stage there with him and
Amazing. That's
played
awesome.
some heavy metal.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Fantastic.
He said it was one of the best nights of his life.
Those are good times when you're a parent and you get to share those moments with your child, and those are the memories that you make that, like, as a parent you keep with you, and even as a kid, I think when they get older,
kids.
they appreciate it.
Yeah, no kid in the
So
world.
he's like, yeah.
I mean, considering Matt's living room is all
My
music
sperm
equipment
is terrible.
and amps
Not that I'm
and
aware of.
guitars, I would hope to think that
we would
passed
know.
on some of it.
Yeah, we would
Yeah.
know if Ian had kids somewhere though, because like you would walk into a Target and they would be shirtless
take-
with a Minotaur head.
You take one look at that kid's forehead, you'd be like, ew.
Yeah, Ian. Yes.
Oh, my God.
I have found him.
I
I know your father.
I
is,
know your
son.
father.
Yes.
All right. You'd be like Rafiki from The Lion King. Correction. I know your father.
How do I find him? Go where the weights are.
Beyonce starts singing.
Yeah, beyond. Yeah.
No, the real Lion King. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you
Don't
can't.
plug your album.
No fake ass Lion King.
Bullshit ass Lion
Yeah,
King.
that's some bullshit.
My favorite meme that has actually been going around again is the Lion King meme, where instead of holding him up, he chucks him.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah.
Throws him
that's a
completely
good
off the
So,
fucking cliff.
someone made a slightly extended version, so you do it added in all the animals bowing and praising him for chucking him, so it's not just him chucking him. Oh, it's wonderful.
God bless the internet.
As it should be.
I heard
as
there's
it
some
should
shit
be.
going on right now with Kathleen Kennedy and Disney and South Park.
Constant.
The Pandaverse.
Ooh, what's
Constant.
going on here?
South Park is tackling Disney and going straight after Kathleen.
Yeah.
Because Trey Parker and Matt Stone are immune to
As
censorship.
they should. You know what? We need
They're
more
immune. They are
South
immune
Parks.
to being shut down.
Yeah.
People have
because-
tried. They've been trying for
Yeah.
almost 30 years.
The people
Can't.
try to pin politics on them for either way, and they tend to lie very liberal, and
Yeah.
they've been that way this entire time, and they poke fun at both
Everyone.
sides
Everyone.
whenever necessary.
No, when you watch South Park,
The
you
Prophet Muhammad episode.
No
I'll
man
never
is
forget
safe.
That. I
No-
will never
say, how
forget
many times
that.
have they gone after Jesus and the devil and
Yep.
Dude, they were
the Jewish community
legitimately
and the white,
Al-Qaeda.
the black, everyone.
Al
everyone.
Qaeda said, if you release this episode, we will attempt to kill you.
Yeah.
And they fucking released it. They did. Okay.
All right,
all
fine. So be it.
You're not the only ones that want to kill us.
Good luck. Line up
Al-Qaeda.
behind Kanye
Yeah.
West, Jennifer Lopez, Ben Affleck.
Yes, the Prophet Muhammad episode where I forget who the hell it was. It was some celebrity was a giant Mecha Godzilla, and I forget who the fuck it was.
It was
so great.
probably.
It might have been Barbara Streisand.
That's exactly
Yes.
who it was.
And she was Mecha Godzilla.
yes.
Oh my god.
She's always Mecha Godzilla.
I'll never forget that episode.
What's amazing is a bunch of celebrities do line up to do voices, but what they do with them is they never put them in their own voice. Like Seinfeld was on there.
Turkey number 12.
Yes, as Turkey number 12.
Gobble
God,
gobble, motherfucker. Gobble
That was his
gobble.
line.
And I can't. I mean that. I assume
That in itself is hilarious.
he has a good sense of humor, and he's like, I reached out to you guys. You want me to do turkey? And he showed up and he did it.
Yeah,
So
and,
it's like
his
he's
agent-
like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm on board. Let's do
right.
it.
His agent tried to like talk his way out of it. His agent was like, "Do you know who this is? Like, this is when Seinfeld was on TV at the height of its power. And, like, this is Jerry Seinfeld." And like the way Matt Parker imitates his, the way Matt Parker imitates the agent, he's like, "I'm Jerry Seinfeld's agent. I'm a big fat dumbass."
And the guy on the other line was probably like, yeah, Jerry Seinfeld, yeah, gobble gobble, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Gobble, gobble,
you're gonna
gobble,
make this is your line.
Yeah.
And that was it.
yeah.
And if you look it up on YouTube, it's like 6 seconds. It's like his line.
It's fucking
He comes
great.
walking up to the boys at like a lake or something. He's like, and that's it.
Credit, Jerry
And
Seinfeld.
they literally said, ending credits, Turkey number 12, Jerry Seinfeld.
Yep,
There he is.
that's great. That in itself is fucking comedy at its finest. Like,
Well,
it really is.
I hope that they continue their war against. They call it the Pandaverse for pandering to everyone.
Yeah.
That's great.
And I'm 100% on,
Yeah,
on
they're
Trey
getting-
Parker, Matt
We're
Stone.
in.
Yeah, all the usual suspects are trying to attack him for it, but
Good luck.
they're not going to win.
Yeah.
Good luck. They've been putting out
For
just
years.
the horrible shit.
Yeah.
For over
They
20
probably
years.
have great ass lawyers though. Too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you ever look at like how funny it is when like they're recording the episodes, I encourage you to YouTube like them recording the actual like episode. They can barely get through it because it's them doing the voices.
That's fucking
Like
great.
when he talks about like. He talks about like I think it was one of the Asian episodes, and he talks about he's shitting his pants, and it's the worst shit ever.
But you know,
He says he's like here it comes. He's like so much cuttlefish. Oh. It's, like,
On-
it's so bad, dude.
on
I
the
laugh.
subject of people not pandering, Jon Stewart,
love him too.
he's not getting a season 3 of his show on Apple because creative differences. He wanted into this season to talk about Israel and to talk about China and
You mean
all of
things
those
that matter.
things, and Apple decided no,
We can't do that.
we can't have you talk about especially China, because China is their number one seller of all of their products. At this point.
And manufacturer,
well,
right?
that's
That's
where they make all their phones.
they make all their stuff, but they're also now their largest purchaser of
The
their
thing in your
items.
hand
So
has children's tears on it. Oh man,
As
Oh.
it,
So-
as it should.
the
so-
best moisturizer.
one-
They really are.
yeah, it's the best.
one of the
You know what?
few
Squeeze some into my hair, some gel.
one of
Gross.
one of the few good voices still actually just saying the truth about things, like with the whole COVID nonsense.
Oh yeah.
And he went on there
Jon
and he's
Stewart,
like, yeah, maybe it's from the lab right here.
yeah.
Yeah.
He
And-
fought for the first responders from 9/11.
And
I'll
he's-
never forget
Huge
that.
advocate.
And
I
he-
will never
I mean,
forget
He
that.
still does. He still goes to court because they're still not paying these fucking guys. But he was leaning into a lot of that stuff with his show, and they were happy as long as it wasn't into subjects that are uncomfortable for them and their profits.
That was so fucked up. Like when because Jon Stewart had to go to bat for these guys. It's like they literally, our country got attacked. 9/11. We all remember what the fuck that
Yep.
was. These guys ran into the building to help save
Yeah.
people. Now they're fucked up from breathing in all the building particles.
Yep.
Nobody helped.
And nobody
them.
wants to help.
No.
him.
Nobody wants to help
Wait a minute. What the fuck are we talking about here?
Eddie looks like he wants a lemon meringue.
I am not eating anything right now.
Yeah, this coffee
No,
and
no.
that shot of whiskey eventually are going to be my breakfast. I'm letting my body right now. My strategy is let my body eat all the bad cells,
Yeah, let it
just
heal.
Eat itself.
eat itself for a while, and then we'll talk.
Operating on the understanding that fasting is supposed to kill the bad cells first.
Well, you know Azure from last night.
Yeah,
She is like just Texas through and through. Like she
Yeah.
doesn't say ice, she says ice.
yeah.
And like her strategy today, she texted me like at 9 in the morning and was like brunch at 11, and I'm like, no. How the like as much as you drank last night? How in the fuck is like your way?
How
up-
are you alive?
Well, she had a 24 pack that was just for her,
Yes.
and I said, "Wait, for
Wow.
you?"
No, she is.
And she's like, "Yeah, it might not be enough." I'm like,
she's from Texas.
"What do you mean? That's too much."
Yeah, no.
that is too
That's
much.
hilarious.
Yeah, that's why she needed more eyes
Yeah,
for her bush.
For her bush. You mean she doesn't? All right, no, I'm gonna.
I highly doubt that Azure has a bush. Just saying.
So, Have you guys seen? I'm switching gears completely. Loki episode 4 yet?
I'm sorry, Azure. Please don't listen to this. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It was the
It was
best
good.
episode
Not gonna
of the
ruin it.
season.
Not gonna ruin anything, but I don't know what the fuck happened there at the end. I was like, what was that?
That was spaghettification.
Did we get the radiation levels wrong, or what the fuck?
So there are some theories, right? There's some theories
If
floating
you're still
around.
watching Disney Plus Marvel shows, just turn the fucking episode off for a second.
or listen and enjoy.
Yeah, and if you've seen it, just bounce
Yeah,
some
yeah,
ideas with us.
Yeah. So this is purely speculation because me and my brother do know more about the comic books and where
Than
they
I do.
went. This could be a way that they introduce the most fearsome of Kangs. It's that, yes, it looks like he's spaghettified, but he did also have a device with him that was attached to another device, and perhaps this is the way that he goes through all of the multiverses, gains
So
his knowledge.
they're possibly
comes
setting
back.
up the most powerful version of Kang.
Yeah.
Yes,
So-
which is what I think is possibly.
So
So
Kang-
how does him getting
Kang-
how does him getting spaghettified?
So Kang, well, he was going in there with a particular device that he had
The
only
one he created.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
So I was wondering if he didn't want that to happen.
Correct.
Because that is what he needed it to happen to power his technology that he's going to be making later in the future.
Right.
But Kang also, if they want to keep with it, he's one of the variants that he's the same everywhere.
Right.
It's almost like where Wanda is a singular being that's attached to the Darkhold, the way they did it in the movies that way. He is this, like, the Kang, there isn't other different looking versions of him. He's the same looking, whereas there's multiple Spider-Men, depending on how far from your timeline that you actually get.
Right.
Kang doesn't do that. Kang is Kang across
In
all of
every
them.
Across-
version. Okay.
Right.
So what happens after he gets all spaghettified? Does he come back to the
So he essentially comes back the much more powerful, knowledgeable version of himself. Like there's something that happens that like
I imagine this is the thing that throws him all across the timeline.
Yeah.
So he got ripped apart. So now
So
he's
by them picking up
he's
Victor
seeds.
Timely,
He's the seed.
bringing him to the TVA,
Right.
having him try to help them
they
correct
created
the loom.
created Kang.
Correct.
Loki and crooked ass Owen Nilsson fucked
Yes.
us all.
Yes. Twice, because she caused the problem by killing He Who Remains.
Sylvie.
Yeah.
Sylvie, right? And then blames Loki
Yeah.
for
She's like-
not fixing it properly, right? That was the biggest, like, she's yelling at him. I'm like, you did this. You stabbed him. He tried to stop you. And now it's, how come you're not doing this?
Yeah, the
and
last thing he
fixing that?"
says is "See you soon."
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
And he's like, "You fucked up, bitch.
So
you
he
fucked up real bad."
basically he what's the name of that ruler that spread his seed across the earth?
Genghis Khan.
He Genghis Kong'd himself through the TVA.
Yeah, well-
and spread his little Kang seed
I'm excited. I'm
everywhere.
excited to see that. Then
Well, if you-
I
if
did
you-
not. When he disappeared, I just thought, "Oh,
He's dead.
OB fucked up the radiation levels.
Yeah.
Way to go, Chernobyl.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
dick." But I guess now that there's some serious repercussions coming.
Correct.
See, I
correct.
didn't see these undertones.
And don't forget, like when he sat in the conference room, he's like, "You're gonna like this," and then cut to you don't know what the hell he said
Yeah.
to them, which I'm sure they'll have a flashback to the plan revealing itself in 2 more episodes. Marvel says that the next 2 episodes of Loki are some of the best written and acted.
Who said this?
Marvel, the directors, are saying
these-
that this
are
is
these-
the best.
Are these the same people that told us to watch Secret Invasion? Are these the
Listen,
same
let me tell you something.
people?
As quickly
I'm just
as
saying,
they
I
said,
take
watch
everything with a grain of
Secret-
salt.
Is this-
I take everything with a big old chunk of
Compare-
sea salt.
Is this-
Compared to Secret Invasion, could anything be bad?
Is this the committee that's bringing us the Marvels?
Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly.
They
Yeah.
are trying
Good
so
question.
hard to make it a viable movie.
They need to stop trying to make movies by fucking committee
Yeah.
and just allow the writers and directors to tell the movie.
I'm telling you right now,
Yeah.
I'm not going to see the Marvels.
Yeah. Yeah.
I may not even see it when it comes to Disney Plus. I don't give a fuck.
You gotta let the creative people
About that
be
movie.
creative and stop trying to
Agree.
force the movie to be what you want it to be. Not every movie is for everybody. And
Not
trying
every
to make a movie for everybody, you're fucking up the movie.
Not every
for
superhero
the
is for
people who
everybody.
it should
And-
have been for.
And not every superhero needs a trilogy.
No.
Like a one and
Well,
done
let's
for Miss
let's
Marvel
take it
or
back. Let's
Captain
take
Marvel.
it back to what brought us all to comic books. When you would buy comic books as a kid, did you when you went to the stand with your mom and she's like, "Okay, pick out 1 or 2 comic books." Did you fucking buy all of them? No. Some superheroes I didn't give a fuck about.
Yeah.
I would look at, okay, the new issue and this one focuses on Cyclops from the X-Men. Okay,
I don't
great.
care.
I don't give a shit about the guy from Star Trek with the fucking rim
Secret
on his
Wars
eye.
was
No.
Secret Wars was great because you got to see the guy you didn't like die.
Yeah.
You're like, everyone's dying. Where's the one I didn't like? Him. Ha ha.
Yeah.
I would see Alien versus Predator. I would buy that one. I would see the Hulk. I would buy that one.
Yeah.
The new issue of Spider-Man that has Carnage on the front with Venom teaming up with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I'll buy that one.
To be-
Captain Marvel?
Don't
Nah.
care. Don't care.
Nah, maybe my cousin
care.
Barb
Listen,
reads that. I don't fucking know.
Captain
I
Marvel
agree. I agree.
has been the epitome of a failed character from the very beginning, where it used to be DC and they lost their rights, and then someone else picked it up, and now they're playing the copyright game so that Marvel can keep on the name of Captain Marvel, because Shazam is supposed to be Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember actually Shazam being referred to as Captain Marvel in some comic books back in the day.
Yeah.
I'm that old.
The more I think
With you.
about it, what I think they should have done was, one, take a short break from the movies and then lean right into the X-Men.
Yeah.
You could have said, we've told the Avengers story, lay those characters to rest, and then start with the X-Men, and then you can even bring back some fan favorite beloved
the
characters
problem is
into the
They,
story.
they threw too many super
It's
movies
still
at us and
multiple.
saturated
It's
it.
Yeah.
multiple years before they have the rights to do more X-Men movies, because Fox has the X-Men copyright.
Yeah, right.
So they would have had to take off like several years to do it that way. But that's what I had said after the Infinity Wars. Like, they need to kind of take a break, take a reset before they try to jump right back in.
Where you
But
going?
they're trying to keep that cash train rolling.
Where you going? Where you going? Hey. Oh, okay. You make me nervous.
I think I'll zoom in on
Yeah.
the video during
Yeah.
that.
That was strange.
Maybe clip that out, make it a GIF.
Do you have like really big nuts or something you were sitting on? What happened?
Why, yes, I do.
Okay, all right, okay. You Puerto
No,
Ricans.
but they really could have, even just taken a completely different direction. I think we all wanted some of those movies to succeed because the other ones we had seen previously were so
And
great.
some
We're
I
like,
wanted to fail.
how can
The
we?
Craven, I want that one to fail.
I mean, the reality is the
Yeah,
studios
Craven.
never
Ugh.
work with each other
Did that
unless
even
it's
come out?
I don't know.
not that I've seen.
You can't make movies about Spider-Man's villains. You can't
No,
do
Yeah,
they don't
yeah.
work.
You fucking
The-
can't.
The studios don't work with each other unless it's trying to fuck over the actors. So
Unless
just
they're
like
making a Kingpin movie.
Henry Cavill
Cavill.
couldn't get rid of the mustache so he could do some reshoots. It's
the
the
worst
same
CGI.
nonsense where it's like, no, you're not going to get to use your characters that are reverting back to you because we're going to keep butchering them for as long as we can and try to hold on to this fucking copyright.
One of the worst CGIs ever. Henry Cavill's mustache in Justice League. One
No,
of the
what
worst
what makes
CGIs
it what
ever.
makes
Or
it
best.
worse is
No.
like like a week later, some random dude on YouTube got famous for making it look better.
better.
Yeah.
Than the
Yeah.
fucking studio people at DC.
It's the
Yeah.
same thing that happened
Yeah.
with
Jimmy in his basement. beat
when
him.
they de-aged Luke Skywalker. But that guy, they went, "Wow, good work," and they hired him.
Yeah.
Because they're like, "You're doing something better than what we're doing."
So get in here.
Yeah.
It still comes back to the Netflix model for the shows. The shows were independent, street level characters: the Daredevil, Punisher, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones.
You say
And they-
Iron Fist, I'm flipping this fucking table.
The Iron Lung
God damn it.
attached to his fist. But those
White kung
shows
fu.
worked well because they were in their own lane.
Yeah.
They didn't tie into a much larger picture.
They
which
tried
I
to,
think
though. The
people
Defenders.
get overwhelmed with, I have to watch this, this, and this just to go watch that. It's too much. Leave these independent shows, mini stories, side missions, so to speak, like Skyrim.
Yep.
Hawkeye is doing this, and you know who Hawkeye is. It doesn't have to tie into the larger universe. It's just, this is a story.
He's a guy that paid attention. in
all
Archer
about a
class.
guy
Yeah.
whose life got flipped, turned upside down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'd like to take a minute, sit right there.
I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing here,
Thank you,
sir.
thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay.
And fuck Jada.
Well, apparently her
Biggest-
Everybody did.
apparently her book is a gigantic flop.
Good.
Which congratulations.
Good, because people are like, you know what? You're really trying to bank on shitting on another human being in such a terrible way that everybody.
And we already found out through Amber
we
Heard
don't
that
care.
doesn't work.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't. It doesn't. And it shouldn't, right? Because too much power for these celebrities, men or women, who decide, like, I want to just shit on somebody else's life for the fuck of it and try to bank off of it. It shouldn't be a bankable thing. So
No.
Yeah.
Good. Kudos to the people for not buying.
For
that
not
shit.
buying it.
I think you know how Hollywood goes through like genres, like they went through like the sci-fi monster movie age, like where every fucking couple months there was a different sci-fi. I was a teenage. Some of them were stupid. I was a teenage werewolf, shit like that.
Yeah.
And then they went through a western phase.
Yep.
Where, like every fucking couple months you'd see like, you know, Fistful of Dollars, Outlaw. Like you'd see these different westerns coming out.
Yeah.
And now we're in the superhero era.
Yeah.
And it's actually funny because like Martin Scorsese said, we need to get back to real films.
Right.
But then I watched Killers on the Flower Moon, and it's like, it was good.
But it wasn't great.
It was super long. It was super depressing, and I feel like if you'd had better editing, it would have been a better film.
Right.
Like that movie ends an hour before it ends.
Right.
Like you're just like, I mean,
This
it's
was
like
over.
Yeah, it's like if they put your dog down by slowly infusing the sleeping chemical, and you just have to sit there and watch it, and you're like, oh, this is gonna be fun.
We got 4 more syringes, people.
Yeah.
4 more syringes.
Keep petting your dog.
Yeah,
Keep
yeah,
petting
yeah.
him.
It was there.
It's not over yet.
Oh.
It's like, God,
There-
no.
Like I
don't wanna.
like the artists getting to tell the story in the time frame they need to tell it, but there is something to
Martin's too old.
the
Take the keys.
time frame
Delusional.
standard that forced people to be more concise with their story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Martin's just on a power trip. Like his last movie for Netflix, The Irishman, that was a 3.5-hour movie.
Yeah.
I think he just doesn't make a movie that's shorter than 3 hours anymore.
I think it really comes down to we as consumers consume so much these days, right? Everything's
Yeah.
at our fingertips.
Yeah.
So we are now looking at everything with such a fine-tooth cone. Like we're just like we got that magnifying glass on everything we watch because it's like if I'm gonna put my time into watching and there's thousands of things to watch, it better be fucking good. And if it's not, I'm gonna have something to say
Yeah,
about
I think it was. I want to say it was Phil Spencer from Xbox who had said, "We're not fighting with other consoles. We're fighting with Netflix,
Right.
with Apple, with YouTube.
Right.
What we're fighting with is just for your time, because you only have so much time in the day to do something after you're done working and paying the bills." And the reality is there's so much out there that you don't need to sit down to play games. So we need to pull your eyes away from non-gaming activities if they want to expand gaming activities.
No, it's true. Look, by the time you're done with your day, right? You go to the gym, you work, you got like what, 2 hours. And Eddie's right. Like, do I want to spend 2 hours on Skyrim or take a chance at watching something new and maybe it's
2
good
hours
or
on
maybe
Skyrim.
it's shit?
That's-
I'm just
You only loot
relative-
half the cave.
Yeah, exactly.
you do have to shower, shit, and eat, right? You know what I mean? At some point in your life,
Dude, I'm an achievement hunter. I'm like, I literally like
bring the Home Depot
No.
bucket to the living room.
I literally quick save the other night. I did it. Quick save. Go around to all the fucking holds, murder somebody to get $1,000 bounty in all the holds, just to pop the achievement, and then reload the original save. Because I don't want to do this. I don't.
Yeah,
really wanna
no,
do
I
this.
feel you.
This
I
fucks
feel
up the
you. I feel
timeline.
you.
You know.
No, but it's it's what it comes down to. And then like too many spin-offs, too many prequels. It's like
Too many
the original
characters.
idea pool is very
Yeah,
limited.
certain
these
characters didn't get their own comic essentially, or their comic run was cut short because they just weren't interesting enough, or they didn't have enough story behind them to be compelling enough.
Right.
So it's like to try to bring them up into live action, you're going to run into the same thing. It's great that you have more of an open medium to tell because of their limited backstory,
Yeah.
but if you don't have something interesting to do with the character, nobody's coming along because nobody came along
Yeah.
before when they were just original character on page.
I'm starting to think that maybe Marvel should have just ended after Endgame. I mean, that was a high note. That was a high note in all
No,
film.
I mean, I would say no because I'm such a huge fan. I don't hate all of the content that came after. I mean, I loved WandaVision. I loved Loki season 1. I loved, Winter Soldier.
no,
and
it's
the
because
Falcon.
when did Spider-Man the new?
Spider-Man: Homecoming came
Yeah.
after.
No,
like-
was it Homecoming or was it Far? Wait, no, it was Spider-Man. No Way. I get the fucking names.
No
mixed
Way
up.
Home. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
The first one is when was when was not Garfield. Tom Holland. He fought the Vulture. He fought Keaton as the Vulture, and then he fought Jake Gyllenhaal in Paris
Yep.
as Mysterio.
Mysterio.
And then the most recent one was the best one.
Yeah.
And that one came after, and that in itself is worth keeping.
But you almost have to
That
stop.
was a love letter to all the Spider-Man fans.
No Way Home. It was.
No Way
We had
Home.
Far From Home, No Way Home, Homecoming. Yeah, but don't forget too. Like you
So
got
is
to
it-
also take into consider the Spider-Man animated movies, the Into the Multiverse movies.
But-
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
were
fantastic.
fantastic.
But you don't
good.
have you don't have that third Spider-Man movie without the 2 Andrew Garfield movies, without the 3 Tobey Maguire movies. So without the movies that like some were good, some weren't as
Yeah.
good, you don't end up having that moment.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
When Tobey Maguire stepped through that portal,
Yeah.
That was great.
all the
Okay.
feels, I was like, oh my god, there's my Spider-Man.
So is that your Marvel moment? Is that your big Marvel moment?
I think it's hard. If you sit aside the On Your Left,
Yes.
because On Your Left is by far
It's phenomenal.
On Your Left.
yeah.
I would argue is possibly one of the greatest movies in all film.
Yes.
That
yes.
On Your Left was the culmination of 10 years
Yes.
of movies,
Yep.
Yes.
spin-offs, us doing research, speculation,
Yes.
guessing.
Yes.
From the time at the end of the Hulk movie with Ed Norton,
Yeah.
when Tony Stark's in the bar and General whatever is talking to who's Betty? Betty? What the fuck is the general's name?
No, Betty's the daughter.
Yeah, Ross, General Ross.
Ross.
He's talking, and like he says, we're putting a team together.
Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah, he says we're putting a team together, and all the Marvel fans go, "What the fuck do you mean you're putting a team?
What
We know the
team?"
team. We know the team." From the time of that little teaser at the end of that movie until On Your Left, that was, in my opinion, the pinnacle of filmmaking ever. I've never felt like that in a movie theater ever.
You
Yeah.
got tingles.
Ever.
You got
Oh, my
tingles.
God.
But there was one more moment in that very movie that gave me just as good tingles.
Which one?
Captain America picking
Yeah.
up
Thor's
Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
When
We knew Steve was worthy.
Yeah, but when
He's
it
a real
came
American.
to him, when it came to him, people were clapping as if
Well, On Your
they
Left.
just-
On Your Left is from the Winter Soldier.
Yes.
Every
Yeah.
time he runs past him, On Your Left, he's like, "Don't say it."
Yep. When he was running by Anthony Mackie,
Yep.
he's like, on your left,
left.
on your left. Yeah,
And the
come
fact that they
on.
built this up and tied all this together, it was magical.
It was.
But
it was.
yes, watching Tobey Maguire step through the portal,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god!
I just
there
think
he is. There's
Yep.
my Spider-Man.
the downfall was thinking that they could repeat it so quickly. It just needed not even like a reboot, but just a different path to go, because you couldn't replicate what you
Yeah.
left there. Then you have to go to something new.
The
Like, they-
reality is some of what they managed to do by the time they got to Endgame was just fun Easter eggs that
Yeah.
they went and then retroactively made completely into the storyline. Like
Yeah.
the little hints of Thanos and things like that. That was just fun thing for the people that like the comics. And eventually like, oh, we can bring Thanos in.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we can do this.
Back then, it was fun.
So
it was
like
fun. The Avengers movies, the first Avengers movie, might have been the most fun I've ever had in a movie theater.
it was great.
Everybody dressed up. It was
Yep.
wild.
Yes.
I mean, it was.
Come
Jesus.
on, and another great moment in that movie, Hulk smashing Loki on the floor.
Oh yeah.
Had people on their fucking feet. That was just like that.
Oh, when Hulk punches that giant worm out of the sky.
Yep.
He looks. He's like, I'm always angry.
yeah.
I was like, ah!
Is Rage Hulk not your favorite Hulk?
Absolutely. 'Cause
Like Smart Hulk is funny.
the Hulk was the comic I read the most as a kid.
Yeah.
It was the
Well,
because I
technically
loved
there
him.
there is a stronger literally Rage Hulk.
Yeah.
Not a good guy.
Yeah. No. I'm
Re-
talking
really,
about
really not a good guy.
the Rage Hulk that we like. You
Yeah.
know, the one on the screen where he was just
World Breaker.
he just point Hulk
No.
smash.
no, there's one after World Breaker. Oh
my God,
It's like a
stop.
different thing that sets him off. He's all black and he is not a happy guy.
There was
I
something
can
that was like
imagine.
Titan Hulk or something. There's something like that.
Yeah.
That's insanely.
There's a
powerful.
couple levels of
So-
Hulk.
I wanted to.
Hulk needs to stop getting stronger.
I wanted to bring this to your attention. This was something that I seen.
Well, Hulk is connected to One Above All, who's essentially the god of the
Yeah.
Marvel
Who
universe.
Spider-Man actually met
So
just walking down the
Hulk's
street.
Hulk's
Yeah.
unlimited strength actually comes from him.
He grabbed
Oh,
his
okay.
ass.
All right.
Yeah.
It's
So-
literally a gift from God.
I seen this. I seen
Did
this.
He grabbed his ass. I heard you say it under your breath. You son of a bitch. Now, God
seen,
damn it.
I seen this meme. I seen some videos going around the internet. I thought this was
really
interestingly enough to discuss. Where, are you going for your shot? Go for it. Go for your shot.
Yeah, no, there's no chaser,
Do
so
it.
this is just
Do-
me.
Yeah,
just
there's no
doing
chaser,
this
bro.
live
You got
on
this.
air.
You got this. It's delicious.
Yeah,
you don't
it's
need
all
You
you.
don't need a chaser. It's delicious.
I opted out.
It is
wonderful.
delicious. Yeah, it is. It's
That
smooth.
is smooth and wonderful.
I,
It's smooth,
I
it's
suspect
clean.
and not Bernie. That's just
It's
with
good.
with coffee.
Yeah.
Woo.
that's
so-
good whiskey.
So
That'd be good with just a pound of fucking bacon. Like, if I had a pound of bacon in front
that
of
would
me,
be
that'd
great. Here is a list of
Thank you, that was
places
delightful.
that women absolutely refuse to
Oh,
go
yeah.
on a first date.
Oh, that's right. We're supposed to
Okay.
fucking
All
do
right.
this.
So I'm gonna go through. We'll just do 10. We'll just do. Ooh, no. We gotta stop at 13 because 13 is fucking great.
We all start. So we start with talking about comic book shit. Now we're like, all right, here you go.
Yeah. We'll start at 13. First date, IHOP.
Yeah.
Probably not a good place to take her unless you can fight, because like IHOP and Waffle House, like depending
You
on the
need to have
time you
your
take
skills
her,
up. You need to
depending
have
on the
your
time you
skills up.
take her. Like,
I mean, if you wanna
This is true.
see a fight, Waffle House after 10 p.m. You know,
Yeah.
you're
just
gonna
get a
see
table in the
something.
corner.
Yeah.
Get a table in the corner and don't say shit.
Yep.
Sit there, eat your food, and enjoy the festivities.
But I mean,
'Cause they fight.
the morning after a nightclub, a little IHOP for breakfast.
IHOP or Denny's
I mean,
is where you want to go.
But
right
why are
after
you
you've
taking?
been
you
home,
mad?
right?
Why are you taking her to a first date like at 9 in the morning?
on a first date to IHOP.
Get your
I
ass
mean,
up, bitch. We're going on a
What
date.
What if it's one of those let's meet for coffee, breakfast kind of deals? You know what I mean? And IHOP is the place you go to. Would you
The International House of Pancakes is not allowed.
do you say yes or no for IHOP? Do you agree with this sentiment?
First date. So you saying no?
First date
if
is the key here.
outwardly, like if I said, okay, you met a girl, blah blah blah, let's get something to eat sometime. She says, all right, let's get something tomorrow. Okay, and you as a gentleman say, where do you want to go? If she suggested, I would never suggest it because I'm not a breakfast person. But if she openly said, I want to go to IHOP, I'd be like, all right, I'll get
Okay, so
some.
you yourself are detested by this, Edward.
I have no problems with IHOP.
I love IHOP.
I'm not a breakfast guy.
I am a breakfast person.
My breakfast is a pound of bacon and Bloody Marys, brother.
And I'm not a
That's my breakfast.
super bougie eater, but
Yeah.
also I
I'm
have
slightly bougie.
I have been married for quite a long time, so to me, like I'm not looking for very impressive places for like breakfast. As far as breakfast is concerned, a good dinner, absolutely. I won't.
Yeah.
I don't mind splurging on a nice restaurant, a nice eatery for dinner. Get dressed up. That's dope. But when it comes to breakfast, I'm typically like a drive-through Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks. So like IHOP is
Yep.
like, all right, if you want to sit down, maybe Kiki's Kitchen. Kiki's is fucking good. Have you ever
Yeah.
been there?
Keys in Wellington, yes, it
Kiki's
is.
is
Yes,
it's a
it is.
fucking good ass breakfast. It's good.
There's also a place it's like hidden in the park in Royal Palm. What the fuck is the name of that place?
I don't hide in the park very often.
No,
what
it's
are you doing?
It's a breakfast place.
Yeah.
It's a breakfast
Do
place.
they,
Oh, I
they
know
do
what you're
breakfast
saying.
now? They used
Yeah.
to do. I knew
Oh my
the
God,
chef
what the
there.
fuck is the name
chef
of this place?
was.
This place is fantastic. If you haven't been to it, it's right down the road from you.
Yeah?
You
I'll have
should
to
go.
check it
Yeah,
out.
it's
It might be
right at-
open today. We should go right
It's
after
right
this.
at the park. They used to do lunch. The Chris
Brunch.
Paul was the chef there. He's actually excellent.
Okay.
The thing is, he was like a 5-star chef serving out of this little thing. So he had some fancy ass burgers.
Seeds Cafe.
But they were
Seeds,
they were
okay.
really
Yeah,
good.
it's got 5 stars out of 285 reviews.
Okay.
It's amazing. Everything there. Their cold brew, everything on their menu.
I'm gonna skip around this list. I'm gonna go to another one that I think I'm just gonna pick out some of the better ones. For a first date, would you take a first date to a family function?
No. First
Yeah.
date?
That's-
I think
You
that's
are-
a recipe
what are
for
you
disaster,
doing?
right?
I mean,
No.
is she a 10 out of 10?
It
If she's a dime piece. I
if
might
she's
flex.
a dime piece.
I might flex on
but
my
even
Uncle Ed.
still, like that's a recipe for disaster. Families tend to
Nah.
not give a fuck when it comes to you
Nah.
bringing
What if
a
she
date
doesn't
around.
give a fuck?
If
What if she
you
shows
knew-
up, like starts
Yeah.
sticking her hand in the clam chowder, and she's just a savage.
Like, if you knew this person, let's say several years, maybe you're like, oh, they already know the family. This is a family function. This is the first time we're going out as a couple.
Right.
But if you just met the
Online,
person,
First date.
online,
if you just met
yeah.
the person and you're like,
No.
let's
I'm
go
saying
meet
no.
all the no.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
No,
That's
that
a
one
big no for me.
That one's a no.
So we're on board for no's. This one I feel is stupid. Sports events. I'm like, absolutely. I think a sports event is a good
Sports
idea for
make
a first
perfect
date.
sense.
Plenty of time to talk. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Take her to like a local
Yeah.
cage fight. get a
Especially
little,
like if
little
that's
blood splatter on her.
Yeah, if
See
that's
how
where
she
you
acts.
guys have interacted and you you like
I'd actually
this.
take
I like,
yeah.
I think sports.
I'd take her to an MMA fight
I
because
think
then
sport-
if she's like, oh, it's just horrible, I'd be like,
I'm
well, this
out.
ain't gonna work out. I choose MMA over
Okay,
you.
all right. Another one is the movies. Now this one is
I'm gonna go with no.
in the middle.
I'm gonna go with no because this has always been my policy. When I go to the movies, I'm watching the fucking movie.
Correct.
I'm not going to learn shit about you.
You don't want to.
If I take you to the movie, how am I going to talk to you? Am I going to be that asshole?
See, you're thinking about this wrong. This is the way this is the way you do movies. You do the movie first and dinner after. You're guaranteed to now have something to talk about at the dinner after. Whether the movie was good or bad,
right?
You can either shit on it or you can congratulate it, and you have something to start the conversation.
And the
you're a dick in the popcorn kind of guy.
And the movies could be a good way to weed somebody out. Right?
Yeah.
Because if you sit down to watch a movie and she fucking talking,
or if she don't know anything about the movie afterwards,
fuck you, I'm out.
I like part when Purple Man go boom. Oh wow!
If they're just talking the whole time, like if you're sitting at the movies and you're with that one person, like don't go in there, you're like, I'm going to the bathroom, or no, I'm going to get some jujubes. I'll be right back.
Scooty scoo.
Scooty scoo. Exactly. All right.
Shout out to Critical. Thanks for sharing my girlfriend on your story.
Nice.
Man.
And thanks for putting Sofa Kingdom podcast on.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Another one. I'll put these all in the same category: Applebee's, Chili's, Denny's. Like just your generic, not inexpensive.
Your generic Americana restaurant.
Yeah,
How that's a no.
Denny's no, because of our fucking experience. My review, my fucking review is still there.
It still stands.
It's still there.
Stands. And it's valid. It's valid.
Yeah.
It's valid.
I don't know if I ever read that review.
Okay, so then I would say let's
Yeah,
put,
I've heard it. It's good.
It's legendary.
It's
put
good.
Applebee's, Chili's, and Olive Garden in the same table. Just chain restaurant
If
dinners
once
for a
again,
first date.
I don't eat there. They're solid. There's nothing wrong. They're like middle of the road,
Yeah.
6, 7 out of 10.
Yep.
I would only go there if she requested it.
Yeah.
I would never choose to take her there.
Yeah, I don't
Or him, depending on
I
which way
don't
you-
see anything wrong with any of those places, especially for a first date.
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't want to establish on the first date that I'm going to always take you to the most high-class, bougie-ass restaurants, period. Like
That's
we should
birthdays.
start
That's
here,
celebrations.
Sit down and talk. And you also want to see if she's a classy chick,
You
right?
can't break the bank every time you go out.
Yeah, if you open the door and she's like,
No, you
are we
can't.
going to Applebee's? Right there, that's a huge red flag. You
Yep.
should be like, you know what? This isn't the type of person I want in my life anyway.
That's like my
because-
fucking mom, dude. My mom used to love Red Lobster in York, Pennsylvania, and she would talk it up. I'm like, Mom, you do realize that that's like a chain,
Right.
Like, their seafood, like in York, Pennsylvania, this place is busy, but like in the rest of the world, this sucks.
I'm hard pressed to like listen. Any restaurant where you're going to sit down and you're going to be served and you're going to pay a tip, generally speaking, is a pretty good spot for a first date.
Yeah.
As long as you're not ordering off the counter.
Yeah.
But even then, it depends. Did you go to the beach first?
Right.
Were you at the park and now you're just grabbing something and you're continuing the date?
Yeah, you take her to Lake Worth Beach, and you go up to Benny's, sit
Yep.
there at the bar,
Yep.
get yourself the sea monster. It's a Bloody
Yeah.
Mary in a fucking fishbowl.
I think exactly. I think
You're gonna
it's
seal the deal, brother.
I think it's a testament that if you can go on a first date with someone, whoever they are, man, female, whatever
you like. We're not yucking anybody's
Right.
yum here.
Yep.
If the place is the main focus, you got to see that as a huge red flag.
Yeah.
Like if you're just like, hey, this is a nice, clean place to eat. I'm paying for food. We're just getting to know each other for the first time. You know, Cheesecake Factory to me, I think is actually, which is the number one thing that people.
Which is hilarious. Like out of all the things
that's a nice place to eat to me.
It
It's
is.
not.
It's
oh
not
my
bad,
god! But
yeah.
it's a. If I take, you can still dress a little nice, a little
Yeah.
casual.
they got
wear
they got
and
the
go.
lighting set properly in there. There's a little
Yeah.
ambiance.
I think that's a nice first date for sure.
Listen, it's 2023, about to be 2024. Prices are high. You're getting a McGriddle and some penis, all
God.
right? That's what's happening.
They're saying like Black Friday sales needs to shift to like
Yeah.
Publix.
I'm gonna have I'm gonna have a mattress in the back of a van.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
hand
it.
you a partially wrapped McGriddle. Here, eat up.
High class, right there.
Eat up, Shamu.
Yeah, they want to put those fucking pineapples on Black Friday.
Don't even wait for her to
sales,
stop eating. Clap, clap, clap.
I got to go.
I got places to be. This has been a great first date. Get the fuck out of my van.
next date starts in 30 minutes.
My next first date is 25 minutes from now. Get out of my van.
And on that note, thank you for joining us at the Sofa Kingdom podcast and not Ian's van.
Not my van. Stay out of my van.
Yeah.
Nothing good happens in my van.
Be leery if he hands you a McGriddle sandwich.
Yes.
There are great expectations to be had on that night.
Or not as many expectations as you think. Yeah. Don't get your hopes up, please. We would like to thank Mike for showing up today.
Yeah, thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
Oh, he was a great guest. A lot to say.
He told me and Ed that he was really excited about swinging by today.
Yep.
You know, so
Good
thanks,
job.
Mike.
Good job.
Appreciate
Fantastic.
that. You made it on the show.
Fantastic.
on the show, Mike.
Fantastic.
You
Where
little fuck.
is Waldo indeed?
Bowling was on the list. What the fuck
Yes.
is wrong with
I was
bowling?
gonna,
There's nothing wrong with bowling. I just suck
Come
at bowling.
on.
I can't bowl.
you know,
I love bowling. I was on league for a couple years. I enjoy it.
I can throw axes.
It's a good time.
I just can't bowl, man.
Axes was a good time
Axes is
too.
always good. We need to do that again.
Axes was easier than bowling.
We need to do
We need-
another escape room.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Just don't go to fucking Denny's afterwards.
I need to put a picture of your review.
Oh, dude.
Oh, that's the name of the episode. Don't go to Denny's.
I left that fucking review as I was driving home. I didn't waste any time. I was driving back from